I asked him, why are you doing this? He was like, it's really good product. This has a great performance. But why? Come on, why? He was about to kill me. He hated me. What the heck? Shut up. Why is it that people get products? I don't want people to get products. I'm like, good. That's your drive. Good. That's what we want to communicate.
Right. And you need to have the visibility, the reputation. What's not communicated is not known. So if you don't put yourself out there, if you don't talk about what you're doing, what you truly believe in, that's going to be a missed opportunity. Welcome to Ideas to Scale. Ale, we're back. Many things have happened, so let's dive in, right?
Yes, good. So we've been working a lot with fintechs, and I was just at the New York Tech Week, meeting a ton of fintechs too. And what I see is a huge missed opportunity in the sector and in tech in general, actually. It's like an identity crisis. Most technology companies, and this applies to fintechs too, you start developing a product and you talk about its futures. And with 35,000 fintechs in the market, differentiating through futures is not going to take you anywhere.
Absolutely. So the most common fintechs or companies that come to us, it's like, oh, we have these rails or we have this technology, we're embedding this or we're doing that. And then all of a sudden it's like, how do you communicate? What are you doing? And the identity crisis is more that it's focused on the technology or the features that the app or the system has, as opposed to what it is that it can solve for. And it reminds me, it's like this Endeavor Mentor, which I'm part of. They come with this amazing technology. They have all this app developed. It's like, okay, tell me your story. No, but we do this. They don't actually come into play. What is it that they're solving for? And like you said, there's like 30,000+ fintechs, and they're mushrooming every single day. They come about. It's like, what is it that you solve for?
Honestly, I'm tired of hearing, I do payments easier. I transfer money in an easier way. I'm gonna do it faster. I just, provide an amazing app. And I'm like, well, the ones that are really making it is the ones that end up talking to a true pain, right, and aligning with, what is it that you want to solve for, and having some sort of what I see with funders all the time is the ones that I see that really make it are the ones that have a passion from something that they live through. I know that this is cliche. It's always like in Shark Tank, you see all of the entrepreneurs pitching. It's like, I had a horrible childhood and now, I'm solving for, world hunger because I couldn't eat when I was a child. Yes. But when they are able to actually solve for a specific problem, that's when it makes a difference. The other day I was talking to this guy. He's creating this amazing app that he actually created it. And he had the perfect combination because when he was young, he used to work for construction. And then he went and became a financial advisor too. He worked for banks. Mm-hmm. But now he started this app. And the app is a project management app for construction workers, for project managers to send them everything through WhatsApp. And I thought it was amazing. It's a very simple solution, well, simple, quote unquote, mm-hmm, but it's solving for a real pain. The project managers need the people on the field to update, right, but the people on the field are just gonna answer WhatsApp. So what I saw is, okay, grab your experience, grab your passion, and grab whatever it is that you've gone through and convert it into a useful tool or a useful app or a useful solution, whatever it is. But he was talking a lot about how he has this passion for helping the community, the construction community too.
Right. But that's it. Perfect example. It is there. You're talking directly where the action is, which is what's up in that case. You're solving for the project manager having to multiple communication and sorts of pain, and most likely it's gonna. I mean, you, again, time, effort, complexities, as well as clarification in terms of construction and whatnot. So going back to the fintechs and the identity crisis that we opened, it's more, how do you go about redefining what are you solving for, as opposed to, I mean, there are amazing apps, Cachea, there are different apps happening in mushrooming in Latin America, most likely because they're solving a real problem. So for in one country, there's no access to lending. So they devise a buy now, pay later, which is successful. And then they're launching in other places. There are things that are happening in situ and on location that once you identify that problem and you quantify it and it makes sense, and when you're creating, and then they come back to us, it's like, we have this Rails, we have this app, we have this system, we have this. It's like, no. What's happening to the person, that project manager, or what's happening with I don't know, the person, the store that or the small mom and pop shop that's using your services? What are you giving to them?
I think that what the industry is missing overall is that, and it's always happened in technology. Technology gets lost in tools and they get lost in like the shiny new thing, the shiny new tool, and they forget to engage with your target, and they forget to actually solve for a real problem. And that comes first, and your passion comes first, and the reason you're doing things comes first. And I understand you develop the product. In Mexico, it happens a lot. In Mexico, there are like thousands of fintechs. Most of them, they want to grab the space of the cash. There is still like a large cash-based country. Yeah. They all want to grab that. Mm-hmm. But you start with the technology, fine. But find the meaning behind it, because if not, you're not going to be differentiated in the market. That's a reality. You're not going to build a brand. You're going to be just a tool. And that's commoditized. The technology is commoditized. That's a reality. Everybody has access to develop anything now. No?
Yes. But when you're, like, say, Mexico, you're in a small taco shop in the middle of, I don't know, Guadalajara. You're right there. You're solving for some pain point that they're having. It's very different what's happening, like fintechs in the US. I mean, you've been to fintechs in Mexico and Colombia and New York. You were just right there. It's like, it's a very different space. So the first thing that we do, and the pitches first of all, they come with like the slogan or we have the best payment system, or no, let's get it to reality. And that, when we try to, put that aside, let's understand what problem you're solving for. And the idea of coming with the real why is one of the hardest parts of any project that we have. It's like, why are you doing this? What big expensive problem you're solving for? And we continuously repeat that, because it's not for Simon Sinek type of, and we do truly believe in that. It's like people buy, or people engage, or people relate to your brand or to your story because of your story of why you're doing this. So we come about many entrepreneurs, companies, and even fintechs coming about saying, okay, where do we start? What do we do? Should we ditch what we have? Should we create a whole new deck? And we've even changed names of companies. We've changed because of the realization of where they're heading. I remember one case we had. They came to us. It's like, they want to grow in this. It's like, and you're like, Gabby, we're not changing the brand. It's like, we need to change the identity for this case. We need to do this. And you were super upset. It's like the brand or the logo, that identity that was not reflecting where they were heading.
What can you do? What are the tools you can actually use to create? You have this product, you believe in it. Generally, you either come from financial services, which is a very high jargon service, high jargon industry, or you come from technology, again, product focused. Hey, I'm going to launch this. And you've been working really, really hard to finally launch it. You have you have your beautiful product out there, but you have to create an identity that helps you take it to the next level. And the problem I see with entrepreneurs sometimes is that it's a very emotional process. The other day we were with a client that I asked him, why are you doing this? And he's in the financial services industry. And he was like, well, it's really good product. And this has a great performance. And this is needed this way or that way. And I'm like, no. But why? Come on, why? He was about to kill me. He hated me. Like he was like,
yeah, on the fourth why.
Yeah, the fourth why. He was like, what the heck? Shut up. And he's like, well, why is it that people get shitty products? I don't want people to get shitty products in LATAM. I'm like, good. Now you're angry. Now that's your drive. Good. That's what we want to communicate, right? And that's your identity. So what tools can they use? One, of course, is what we call the purpose-driven, finding your why. But truly, what drives you? And, what impact you want to make in the world. Another one is pain mapping, that we call it, right?
Right.
So the second one is, map the pains of your customers and really what you're solving for. And we do it with an exercise of the job to be done. Really, what are you doing for your customer beyond your product?
Once you know that who is and what pain points you're solving for, understand what part of market fit you have. Because maybe you have the amazing product and it's not the right target. It's not the right people and the right person. They call it jargony, I know. ICP, your ideal client profile, but who is it that is going to use and what's the job to be done? If it would take your brand to make payments, or if you're going to give some, we have an entrepreneur, and the entrepreneur came up to me. He has this app that does crypto handling for teenagers and for juniors. So starting, how do you level? And because he was super concerned that he had a 2-year-old and he wanted for his children to understand this new technology. So he created the app to have the literacy for it's like, that's a...
For 2-year-olds?
No, but for five, and then for really? 10, and then it grows with you, because this is the technology our kids are using, and they're already AI natives. It's not that they are internet or mobile; they're AI natives, or crypto natives. So that is okay. So that's a real problem that you want to solve for. Is that you want a safe environment, you want a place, and you want this. You have the guardrails, but don't tell me about the things that the product has. Tell me about what it solves for. And for you is the peace of mind that your kid will have the right knowledge or the right tools and right ways of figuring out whether or not you should invest in this or not. So that's where we start. The product market fit, I know. Term crypto and Bitcoin with a 5-year-old is a bit tough. NFTs and all that much, but the idea is okay. He had it in with him, and he's already a Series A, and he's going forward with it, and it's great.
Awesome. So let's think about other ways to get over this identity crisis and define your identity. Another way that I do it, and we do it, is how to shift the focus from product to outcomes. Mm-hmm. That's a huge exercise that we always do, because we work a lot with B2B service firms.
Right.
So you know, beyond promising, for example, in financial services, we cannot promise anything. any performance, of course. But you have to promise something. When you go into buying a product, that product is giving you a promise of something. So figuring out what you're solving for and the outcome and the future me you're presenting is key. And we guide, I always tell clients, like, okay, but what's the result of this? And always like thinking about, okay, this is the process, this is going to be the result, this is going to be the future you or the future
Right.
client.
That is great. And the other aspect that we take care of is that leader. That leader has a passion, that leader has a drive, and having what is financial? It deals with money, deals with trust, deals with how do you elevate the trustworthiness or the trust lever for this company, and this company is represented by the CEO, by the leaders of the company. So we try to elevate their positioning as well. So you're having the brand of, you having the company, and you having the key people within the company elevate the narrative towards what they truly believe in. So that is, and they say, okay, maybe that can be AI. No, this is like the common sense of the leader. Why did they construct this? Why is it that drives them? And that comes about. And once you get to reach to a point where you're negotiating, that's that when you have a person on top that is for pitch or for fundraising, we've seen it a lot. It's like we need to elevate the narrative of the
leaders. Yeah. And we always run into a lot of pushback there. Generally, the leaders don't consider themselves. They don't consider they have enough time to do it.
Oh, they say, it's like, I'm not going to be an influencer. I'm not going to be a Kardashian. It's like, no, we're not thinking about that. We just think. And you're the biggest asset, the lever in terms of understanding why you created this, what is solving for, and you're that person, whether you like it or not. You can be passive, you can be super low profile, but people need to know why.
No, but it's a huge missed opportunity. We always talk to founders and say, hey, how is it that you're not out there and promote yourself as a leader of the industry, which is where the biggest opportunity is. Especially in fintech now and financial services, it's all about partnerships. I haven't seen any fintech succeed without partnerships. That's a reality. So if you're not positioned as a leader in the industry, it's much harder to open doors to big partnerships and collaborations with other fintechs.
Absolutely.
That's one main driver. The other, the issue is also personality. A lot of them are like, oh no, I don't want to, I don't want to show up on the camera.
I don't have time.
We used to be like that too.
I don't have time.
Actually, both of us.
No.
So we have to admit it. Yes. So how is it that we did it, right? How did we start being exposed? And I think it's little by little and in a way that makes you feel comfortable. Right now, we are comfortable talking to each other. I am comfortable talking to clients. And that's how we figure out what you're comfortable with. Some people are comfortable just writing or being on their own. I think that now with AI, it's made it that much easier to, in terms of figuring out how you're going to speak, how you're going to present yourself, getting feedback, etc. But it's also it keeps making the market that much more saturated in terms of how much content there is out there. Yeah. But if you're out there and you have something to say, that's when it all changes, right?
And you tapped into a very interesting aspect is that the networks or the partnerships that are happening, there's going to be a whole lot of M&As happening. So in order to be like you, CEO, entrepreneur that are heading this fintech, that's going to happen. And you need to have the visibility, the reputation, and people, what's not communicated, it's not known. So if you don't put yourself out there, if you don't talk about what you're doing, what you truly believe in, that's going to be a missed opportunity because it is going to happen. And even with AI and the whole compute, what's happening, this is going to go at a much faster pace.
Well, playing devil's advocate, there is a lot of people that believe that like the low profile is better in terms of, oh, I'm just a hidden gem. But nowadays, with the bombardment of content that we have, we end up trusting the ones that we see, not the ones that we don't. That's a reality.
But yeah, and it depends. It depends. There are super exclusive clubs that nobody knows, and
They're not
makes
really
but
hidden.
that's not for this type of company, B2B service firms that we're dealing with. So it might be a space for companies to be low profile, low and just coming word of mouth. It's the thing, and that's perfect for some. But for the companies that we advise, it's not. You need to be out there. You need to position it as the. We have had many CEOs coming to the chairs, and once they open up as to why this is why they're doing this. We even had the sibling calling in and say, "Oh, it's amazing the story of my brother and or the effect of it." So it's an invitation to get the word out. We can certainly help.
And I think that, okay, there is an identity crisis. There is, in terms of creating a strong brand for your fintech. What can you do in summary? What do we think you can do? Number one,
go ahead.
Go deep into creating a purpose for your organization, a why, and the impact you want to create in the world. Mm-hmm. Number two, review all of your communications to focus on the outcomes of your product, not the features of your product. And number three, open up to expose the founder, the director, the CEO, whoever you want to be your brand ambassador, to actually be out there and be your brand ambassador, right?
And on top of that, and that is amazing, and I truly believe that you need to be consistent and recent. You need to be frequent and recently and the top of mind of the people you're targeting, whether you're fundraising, whether you're launching, whether you're entering new markets, entering new geography and new products or services that you're introducing into your new brand. It certainly helps to have those top three things, plus being diligent about the communications that you're putting out there.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.